So before we get into the NAMM wrap-up episode, we have an apology we would like to make to our listeners. At the end of the last episode, we mentioned that the next episode would be an interview with Noise Engineering. We did do a Noise Engineering interview, and it was great. It was fantastic. However, due to some technical difficulties, the audio for that interview turned out to be complete shit. The laptop we were recording on crapped itself, so we switched to plan B and we tried to record everything through a portable recorder. The interview was done via Skype, so we were trying to record us asking them questions and their answers through the speakers through the portable recording device. Unfortunately, it just turned out way too poor quality to release. We really appreciate Stephen and Chris taking the time to answer our questions and just hanging out with us for a while. But yeah, if you're wondering why you don't hear us mentioning Noise Engineering modules, and there's quite a few good ones that did come out, or at least was announced at NAMM, in this wrap-up episode, that is why, because we had planned on dedicating an entire episode to that.
So NAMM 2018.
Damn.
It's wrapped up. It's done.
The year of the semi-modular.
Lots of semi-modulars.
Yeah.
Or how I stopped worrying and learned to love the Wavetable asks. You pick the title.
I'm
one
going
or
with
the
both. You just put a semicolon between them. Just keep going forever.
That entire thing. Or
Yeah. Like the Doctor Strangelove style.
mm-hmm. There were a lot of monos. I think first one off the bat was the Manther. We were all curious to see what Malekko's been cooking up for a while. Manther being, what is it, like 2600 bass or something? Or am I wrong on that? Or 2600-ish? They have their own shit all over it.
I took notes.
Oh, he did take notes.
Yeah, because I was excited about it.
I will say I was happy to see the BFF right behind it. Although there were no samples of that, I was like, cool, because that's the interesting one to me.
Yeah, I don't think that was functional.
This is creepy, but it was on, we're friends with Ben Davis on Facebook, and he was like, oh, back from NAMM, and I saw Scott Yeager posted, like, all right, BFF time. So,
Nice.
that bodes well.
Maybe they're just best friends forever.
Yeah, maybe they're just best friends.
Yeah.
Still no sight or sound of Mr. D, but at least we know the BFF is in progress right behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I took some technical notes on it
Ooh.
because I didn't know I was in the market for a monosynth until I saw this thing at NAMM, and now I'm kind of sold. Malekko posted it all on the website, so it's got a SEM 3340 voice chip,
Nice.
same as found in the 101.
Yep.
And
Nice.
the 202.
Nice.
So that made me happy right off the bat, because that was immediately what I thought of when I was watching this video. I was like, there's a lot of stuff out there right now that is trying to tap into the 101 territory. I was like, but none of them have got me as excited as this thing did in like a 5-minute demo video. Because it's got like the form factor, it kind of had the sound. The filter isn't very 101-ish, but it still sounds good. And just everything looks immediate on it. I was like, this thing looks like somebody shot a 101 into space, had its circuit bent by fucking aliens, and shot it back down to Earth. And I was like, so what the fuck is in this thing? But for the filter, it's running a SSM 2044, which is found in the monopoly and the poly 6. It's in a bunch of other stuff too, but nothing I was too familiar with.
That's I love that filter. Luke actually made a DIY version of that, and I had a module of it for a while. It was just PCB panel.
Nice.
And man, it sounded really good.
Awesome.
Actually, that reminds me, I'm going to try to get that from you.
I mean, the demo sounded good, Like, I was analyzing it, I was like, okay, it doesn't sound like a MiniBrute. It's definitely not like a Parker Steiner vibe, but it's also not like 101-ish, but it did have like a really nice sound. That's the two main chips in it, and then you got all the sequencer functions from the Varigate 8 Plus and the 4 Plus embedded in there.
That's cool.
Parameter recording on everything. It's got a built-in delay. I couldn't find any details on what the delay is. I don't know if it's analog or digital
Might
or
be one of their pedals, maybe.
Yeah,
Mm.
they definitely
BBE or
have a few of them.
something.
Yeah, it sounded good. It's a nice touch. That's the only effect I believe that's on it. It's a delay. You know, it definitely added flavor in the demos that they were giving. I was like, okay, I can appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, I will say of all the mono synths that seemed like they came out, at first I just lumped that one out. I was like, oh, these stupid mono synths. But that's the one I think after watching demo videos that you kind of, after triangulating the sound through various kind of halfway there videos, I'm like, that one has the most promise, I think.
Yeah, all the mono synths seem to have like, you know, semi-modular capabilities, but this one seems to have the best modular capabilities in my opinion, at least the ones that are most interesting to me.
I like the layout too, the way they have the 16-step keyboard, 16-step, you know, sequencer, and then the little keyboard keys after it.
Yeah.
That's like, I wish everything was kind of like that.
Yeah, it's 16 keys, but I believe it's a 64-step pattern that you can do.
So.
The suggested retail is going to be $650.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's cool.
Not terrible, you know. It's more than the MiniBrute S2 or 2S rather. I don't know. The MiniBrutes looked pretty good too, but this just is more appealing to me. You know, the MiniBrute seems good if you want to do a very traditional synth thing. You know, this thing looks like you can get a little more freaky with it.
I do have notes about the MiniBrute S2, and most of them are glowing.
Take it away, Dave.
Yeah, go for it.
So, I mean, just the idea of skipping the keys altogether and going with a sequencer and pads, I think it's brilliant because not everyone plays with keys. And the patch bay, I thought, everything looks brilliantly laid out.
Yeah, I think you can CV everything, like the metalizer, all that jazz. So
Some odd normalizations on it, I'll say. Like they have AD going to the VCA and ADSR going to the filter by default. You'd think it would be flipped, but I don't know what the logic was.
Yeah,
there,
I don't either, yeah.
A lot of patch points, though. Like
Yeah.
40 or something?
And even the rack brute, the weird sort of like thing with the rack behind it. At first I was like, that seems like a gimmick. That seems kind of dumb. But the more I saw it, and especially with it collapsed, I sort of warmed up to it. If you're interested in, sort of like dipping a toe in the modular, this seems like a great way to sort of get in on that. And I thought it sounded great. A lot of videos did sound like shit.
Yeah.
But I think that's just the nature of synth shows and even the Arturia one on their site. It's like I'm gonna be the keyboardist in a band, and like they're just playing like really, really mundane shit.
yeah,
But then there was a couple other videos where like someone's like really tinkering with it, and I thought they were getting some decent sounds out of it.
yeah. That video on their website was kind of hard to judge because there was a lot going on. Like there's the girl singing, and he has like another keyboard going underneath it, and there was all the other elements. I'm like, okay, I just want to hear this thing. I don't need a video trying to get me to visualize myself as a rock star in a band. Like, just show me what this thing can do. But yeah, the videos that I did check out that were just like demos at NAMM, they sounded fairly good. It's got 2 oscillators this time, which is nice. It's got all the stuff. I believe it has the ARP engine and, you know, all the sequencer features, which, if I remember correctly, you can have 3 different layers going on, which is pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know how that works, but it's a monosynth, but you can have 3 separate layers, I think, going simultaneously on the sequencer. Yeah, it sounded good, and I agree that Rack Brute, I think, is genius on their part. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the theme right now is make shit integratable, you know, modular compatible, and a lot of people are doing that slowly. Arturia, like, this isn't the first time they've done the patch bay. Like, that was a good first step. Seems like a lot of other people are following suit, and now all of a sudden they're like, you know what, we're going to sell you our own rack. You know, you can expand upon our synths and act as a gateway into the modular world for people that don't already have a case. I think that's genius.
Yeah, because now you can go to Guitar Center, get a keyboard you can play, and the little rack thing that integrates right with it, and you're ready to, like, start the addiction and order stuff from
attaches
like,
right
modular.
to it.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if they're actually going to maybe offer a module soon. You know what I mean?
That seems like a logical next step. You've supplied the Gillette model, and now they can start selling some razors. Like,
Yeah, because they could just even the Steiner filter.
Yeah, I was gonna say
stuff like that.
I would totally buy a Steiner Parker filter through them. Sounds good. And with a CV-able brute force function.
Right.
You know, I would buy it for the right price. Just saying.
Waldorf Quantum. That's been teased before, but now they're like should be out in a few months.
Did you see how much it's going to cost?
Oh yeah,
$5,000.
I have my two super pricey things that I really liked from NAMM.
Yeah.
That I would if I had infinite money. Waldorf Quantum, Eventide H9000.
Mm-hmm.
Both fucking stellar.
Yeah.
To me. Both
Yeah.
together would probably be around $12,000.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is.
Even though I knew I couldn't afford it, I did watch the videos for that Quantum, though. It does
Yeah.
sound
Oh, yeah.
fucking
Same here.
nice.
I love Waldorf, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's something wrong with it, but it's actually working. Like, it looks great. The specs look great. I'll never own it, but it's lust. Like, oh, that looks great.
Yeah.
I just hope, like, oh, please just do, like, a smaller one that's cheaper. You know?
Yeah.
Like a pared down Blofeld style thing with some, like, new shit in it. Oh, I'd be all over it. But
They did have another keyboard that they debuted there.
oh, the
little
string synth
thing,
with
yeah.
the vocoder. That was kind of cool, too. Not up my alley.
Right.
But
I actually had a very strikingly different response to that.
Oh,
It's the STVC.
Mhm.
It's the string and vocoder. I listened to a bunch of videos and I kept coming back to. I imagined myself walking past a piano store in the mall in the 80s, and that was the sound that was coming out.
Yeah.
And it was, and not in a good way. It was
No.
it was really I was really underwhelmed by it, and it sounds goofy. And then when someone would start singing into the vocoder, it seemed like a joke at some point.
I think that thing is going to sell like hotcakes.
Probably.
Oh,
In
definitely.
the synthwave scene,
Oh,
absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But yeah, there was more monosynths. We had Radical Delta CEPA and the new Boom Stars from Studio Electronics. They're doing like Mark IIs of these, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, there wasn't much coverage on them, but yeah, they're like they have wood panels on the sides now.
Oh,
yeah.
that's new.
And they're like twice as much as those other ones were.
Just for the wood panel.
That's what people were joking about online. They're like, I would love to upgrade my current one, but why is it like almost twice the price? Is it just because of the wood panels? Like, but
Are there supposed to be new features? I mean, all kidding aside about the wood
I didn't
panels.
see much about the features themselves or even what they were modeled on. Like, it was a real brief blurb I found online just showing like a screenshot of a couple of them and suggested price and things like that. We could probably dig it up.
Were they actually there? Because I don't remember seeing any videos of anyone stopping at the booth and talking to them.
I don't know. I found it on Matrix Synth.
Okay.
It was from NAMM, but maybe it was just like an announcement type thing. Maybe there weren't any demos or anything.
Gotcha. That Radical one, that's the huge voice, but it's in Eurorack form.
It's in both. They have it as a module or a semi-module standalone monosynth.
I didn't see the standalone, but I saw a bunch of videos of the Eurorack version. It's not really for me because I'm not looking for like a giant
A full voice.
voice like that. But they were getting good sounds out of it. It sounded
It sounded good, yeah.
yeah.
Even the Sonic State guy was like, "This is a fat sounding synth." You know, yeah, it definitely had like a good tone to it, but yeah, not really my thing. But yeah, I have here marked under my underwhelming section. I have DSI Profit Revision 2, which is another yearly profit revision. I think we've gotten one every year now for like the last 8 years.
Yeah, I'm
It's
lost.
like-
I don't even know what their product line is anymore.
They didn't even talk about anything new. Just like, okay, another profit revision. Bit underwhelming. Dave, I think you have some words about this one. The Judo Newman touchscreen synthesizer.
Oh, shit.
I heard you were really excited about this one.
I was super excited for it.
You watched the entire video. I could only get through 5 seconds.
Yeah, man, same here.
You watched the whole thing?
No.
Oh,
I could
okay.
only get through like 5 seconds.
I was going to say.
So wait, you guys didn't actually hear the sound of it?
I skipped forward and heard like one piano sound and I just closed it.
I think watching the video really helped because there's so much build up and there's so much talking and it's a huge touchscreen. There's all kinds of controls. Everything's sort of flashing. And then to have that build up, that anticipation, and then he presses down those keys and it is a fucking piano. I was just like, you know what? Good for you, man. I feel like you might be fucking with me. like good job. You got me to sit and watch your fucking video. It was a calamity. It's really a truly remarkable calamity.
I saw it and was like, this is truly the worst of all worlds. Like, is this not worse than a laptop? Like, I'd rather just have a Windows. Like, I don't know.
So it's inconvenient on every level. Yeah. It's probably going to cost $1 million.
Probably.
And it kind of looks fragile.
Yeah.
So it's going to break almost immediately.
That screen's going to get shattered immediately.
It's not Gorilla Glass.
The minute someone drops their 1/4-inch cable trying to plug it in, and the thing's just spider webs across the whole screen.
It's just a constant piano drone after you do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially a giant iPad attached to a keyboard at like 5 times the price.
Yeah.
Yes. And only does that.
Yeah. So yeah, props to you for getting through the entire video.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Took one for the team there.
Yes. Stepped into the plate.
I have here the Alesis Vortex.
What?
Yeah, a brand new, innovative MIDI guitar.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I have one note for that.
Yeah. Okay.
It just says "fuck off."
I'm glad I'm not the only one that caught it, dude. Like, I'm digging through all the stuff looking for, did I miss anything important? And then I was like, what the fuck? I was like, did I just scroll past a keytar? And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot and open it. It's not even a keytar. It's just a fucking controller.
Yeah, just a controller.
I'm like, doesn't this exist in like a million different formats already? Like, who the hell still uses them? Like a keytar MIDI controller? But this one has like 8 pads on it.
Yeah.
And a slider.
Oh.
So innovative.
How much? One that I was kind of on was the Volca Mixer. It was like so close.
I missed that
They're
entirely.
so far away.
There's a lot of problems with that.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, it claims to be 4 channels, but it's actually not.
3.
It's 2 mono and 1 stereo.
Oh, so they did that.
Yeah. Also, it's not battery powered. You have to plug it in. All the other Volcas are battery powered. This is going to be the first one that doesn't run off of batteries.
Makes sense.
A fucking mixer, though, right?
There's
Is it the speakers?
It might be the speakers because for some fucking reason they decided to waste real estate to put fucking speakers on it.
You know what you could also do? Is have a little jack on the side of it and then sell a little fucking speaker. Yeah. Be like, just plug your speaker into this thing, and then for 90% of the people who don't want speakers, they don't have to fucking deal with it.
Right. You could even make the speakers the size of the little Volca form factor.
Yeah.
This is it. I think it's just a miss across the fucking board.
It is. Whereas, everybody wants, everyone's looking for the $200 mixer you can use to play a live set with.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of gets to it, and then they fuck it up. Man, I feel like they just fucked it up.
Yeah. Because this, if they would have done this right, this could have been a mixer that people, even who weren't using it for Volcas, could have used. Now, I can't imagine someone with Volcas using it, let alone someone who doesn't have those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one more on my underwhelming list. Oh, yeah. New Antera's Auto-Tune.
Oh, I missed that.
I didn't even see that, yeah.
It's basically a reskin of Auto-Tune 5. That's it.
Oh, is it like a graphic of T-Pain, though?
No. It allows you to access Auto-Tune 5 mode, which a lot of people liked more than the other versions. So now you can upgrade for $500
to go back
back. Yeah.
Holy shit.
2 steps forward, 1 step back, right? I'm looking on Gear Sluts. Always people are like, yes, finally, I can get the sound back from Auto-Tune 5. Just fucking install Auto-Tune 5. Right. I mean, it had like 1 or 2 extra things that it mentioned, but it wasn't anything crazy. Like,
they gotta milk it right now, though, because every fucking trap song that exists right now is auto-tuned. Fuck.
Yeah.
And now you can get that classic sound back.
Yeah.
The classic Auto-Tune 5. I found a toy in I can't even remember where it was, like Target or something. It was a little microphone, like toy, you know what I mean? And had his image on it, and it's the T-Pain microphone, Sing Like a Pro.
Dude, did it have Auto-Tune 5 on it? Were people going nuts?
You pushed a button, and it was just his voice all auto-tuned. It said, Sing Like a Pro. I was just like, I gotta buy this.
That's really meta. You're going to buy a microphone, but all it lets you do is play him saying you should sing like a pro.
Yeah.
Buy this micro. Wait, what?
That was it on my the bad list.
Yeah, mine says Digimeh underneath Volca Mixer, but I don't know how much I want to go into that. We can.
Yeah, I've
never unload.
Yeah.
So the Digitone.
So which videos did you see? Did you see the ones with Simon?
I saw the one with Cenk.
I saw the ridiculous one with him, like, with Data Line playing with koi fish and walking around in a garden.
God, yeah.
That was very inspiring. I instantly pre-ordered 3 of them.
Inauspicious starts. That was like the first video, I think. That was like the teaser, and it's gone downhill from there.
Yeah, it's as Greg very eloquently said. It's a preset synth, but it's not a preset synth. They're like fixed. There are ratios and frequencies that sound good that they want you to use. And a lot of the point of FM is, you might get to a point where it's phased out and you hear nothing, but you can completely experiment with it. You start to understand how an operator works.
Mm-hmm.
You start to build things that have like very weird areas that are in between certain frequencies that someone might want you to use.
But they were so proud of removing that from the user. Yeah. Okay, fine. There should be some presets that get you started, but to remove the editing capabilities that make an FM synth so attractive and allows you to get a sound that's pretty unique and dial into what you're trying to do. That comes from understanding what it's doing, or not understanding what it's doing, and just sit there for a while and fucking play with it and go, oh shit, I came across something that sounds good. Save that.
Yeah, and especially in 2018, are you going to tell me that you can't do an advanced mode where the knobs now just scan through all the regular values instead of some array of the safe values you want people to use? Did you read the John Chowning interview on the Elektron site?
No.
I thought that was interesting. It was him talking about just him, discovering FM, not inventing it. And he even you could tell he tried to compliment them. He's like, oh, you've made this in a way that's very different and easy to use. We'll see. We'll see how it proves itself out. I think the Digitact is obviously doing what it's doing right now because, for better or worse, generally kind of worse because of the way they've decided to treat it as an instrument. So we'll see if their new small things kind of hold up over time. I'm a little skeptical right now.
Yeah, I wasn't too hyped on it. I don't see why they couldn't have integrated that into, like the Digitact. We had that conversation via email. You were kind of for the fact that it's its own thing, and I could see that. But me, I looked at it and I just kind of thought this could be a mono machine Mark III. You know what I mean?
It's funny because after we had that email thing, I thought about it for a while, and then the next day I was like, why couldn't they just have made something that was a little less specific and be like, we're going to make this kind of platform.
Exactly.
It's very simple that will allow you to have some modes. Charge me $50 for the FM mode or something like that. I'm on board if you can do it right in a way that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
So I kind of went back. I like single purpose things, but I think especially if you're going to dupe an interface very closely like that, then maybe step back and think about how you could repurpose something. Yeah. And I feel too I fucking love the analog rhythm from Elektron. It's my favorite drum machine ever. And I've learned a little now with having the Digitact that there's a certain depth that it doesn't have in the Digitact that I really like in the rhythm. I like that there are a bevy of different options. I don't know if I like their pared down equipment that much.
Yeah.
It's just give me that depth that I want to do design, or give me the flexibility to have that depth be in other things, like with multi-outs or with some other forward-thinking stuff, or maybe just let us load one FM voice into the Digitact.
Yeah.
I guess
it seemed like it was really well received. I mean, as far as the videos and the hype, and it's probably going to sell well.
Yeah, people seem really hyped. I mean, people are already buying it.
It sold out instantly for the run that they made. But
how much of that is just going to be people jumping on the hype train? Look how many Digitacts are up for sale right now used. Yep. Now that the honeymoon phase is worn off with that, are people going to get bored with this thing in 3 months?
I have to assume that it won't even take that long. But the Digitone, I feel like from beginning to boredom it's a pretty short walk. Yeah. And I think they may have a real problem if people keep buying their stuff and realizing there's no legs on them anymore. They might be doing well with sales now, and they're getting a lot of hype. People are buying them, but if the secondary market blows up with this shit, people are going to notice. Yeah. People are going to notice that this stuff gets unloaded. Right. Maybe there's something not so great about them.
Yeah, I'd honestly rather have a Volca FM if I wanted something like that. I would just parameter lock it with a Digitact or something else.
Well,
I don't get it.
The Volca even has parameter locking.
True. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
All the Volcas do.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the biggest thing. People are saying, well, no, the 4-operator and presets in this thing aren't that innovative, but you're getting the Elektron sequencer, which takes it to a whole different level that you can't get with other stuff. And it's well, If you already own something like the Digitag, you could just do that to a different FM box with more features. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
and they tried to call out like, oh, we have different waveforms, and it's like, so do the TX81Z. You know, this is nothing. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
Digimeh.
Are we still on meh?
I'm out of meh.
Yeah, I don't think I have any meh left.
I think that's it for my meh.
No, it's
Wait, I did have.
Well.
Huh?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know if this is worth talking about. But the Sonicware ELZ1, it looks like an OP1 ripoff.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that and thinking that whatever that is, it looks like an OP1 ripoff.
Actually, all the comments in the YouTube video were basically, "Wait, is this another Teenage Engineering thing?" And I was like, "No," but the sound of it was incredibly boring. Like it was almost like decidedly like lo-fi, like not full on 8-bit, but it was very like raw and like not in an interesting sort of like teethy way. It just sounded like a toy. A very expensive and like well over designed toy.
Teenage Engineering didn't announce anything except for the 2 new
little pocket operators.
Pocket operators, yeah.
It just seems so silly.
Yeah.
Like I don't really
I
get
have
it.
one. I like never use it, but like anytime I'm like actually working on something, like I'm not gonna go to this little toy usually. Like I go towards a bigger, more robust actual drum machine or the modular or something. You know what I mean? We circling back to the good?
Yeah. Well, are we circling back to Euro? Because I feel like there's a number of things to talk about in Euro. One thing that I did want to bring up was the Geiger Counter Pro. It's only a fucking pedal.
There's got to be a module follow-up with that, I presume. I would hope. Because, I thought the same thing. I got super excited, and then I read it. I was like, oh, it's just a pedal.
Do you know what the big features are of the two? Like, what the differences are versus one? I didn't look at specs or anything. There were more controls.
Because there's more controls, way more waves now. And I think higher quality sound overall. I don't think it's limited to 8-bit anymore. I think they touched up the preamp a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I glanced at it, but I was like, well, until this is in module format, I'm not going to pay it too much mind. Yeah. But I'm surprised they didn't announce, like you said, like, why wait? Like, why not release them both at the same time? Kind of weird, but...
The fuck were we talking about?
Euro. Announced it now.
Yes.
Erica Synths. Fucking killing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything they announced, I was like, I want that. Like, even the basic 909, there's already a bunch of modules that do 909 drum sounds, but for some reason, they look nice. Yeah. They sounded good. Very to the point. They have CV control, unlike some of the tip-top ones. They sounded pretty good. I think you were hyped up the most about the graphic VCO.
The graphic VCO. It's coming out in February, towards the end of February. Allegedly, it's supposed to be his birthday.
So that's going to be like the first one out then from the whole new lineup.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I think, the one that was announced the longest ago. Mm-hmm. It's actually been announced like well over a year ago.
I thought it was out.
Yeah. I guess they've been working on it this whole time. Yeah. Like everything sounded great that they were going through. All of the sort of like post-morph effects.
Yeah, it sounded good as hell. I liked it.
It appealed to me, but at the same time, I'm like, man, there's a lot of good wavetable options out there now. Like, it's really hard to pick. Like, you got the 352, you got that. The Piston Honda Mark III was announced. Like, there's a lot of good stuff out there as far as wavetable synths go. But, like, I like the look of that, too. And it goes well with the other new stuff that they announced that I kind of want. Like, the sequencer is huge. The drum computer.
Yeah.
But man, is it
crazy
fun?
The crazy buttons.
Yeah. I love the fact that like there are buttons. Not everything's behind a menu.
Mm-hmm. They're like the 909 buttons too. They're like almost exactly like them with the lights on.
Exactly. Yeah, like little mechanical with the lights on. I was like, that's a nice touch to pair up with your 909 Erica drum modules. And like I think it's 48 HP. Like it's fucking gigantic, but it has like 16 outs.
Yeah, the entire top is just filled with fucking outs. Like it is, you can control tons of shit with it.
Every channel has a trigger and an accent. Plus, there is, I think, one CV and gate channel, so you can do notes with it as well.
It's like an LFO out too, one or two.
I think so. Yeah, there's like a modulation output. It has instant pattern changing. It has.
That's nice.
What the hell else did it have?
Probability per step.
Yeah, probability per step.
Direction per track.
And their demos were just great.
Yeah.
Like they knew what the hell they were talking about. They looked like they were having fun playing with it. They jammed out a bunch. I think they're taking Erica Synths to the next level with this new batch of stuff.
Yeah.
The resonant EQ.
Oh, that looks fucking great.
It's insane. Like
that looks awesome. Digital control over pretty much
every
resonant
band.
EQ kind of. Like, get the fuck out.
I want to hear more demos of how it sounds. You know what I mean? But like functionality wise and just how it looks, the GUI and everything, I'm like, this looks fantastic. You know, like I've been asking for a CV controllable resonant, EQ for a while. Like
I just feel like they know what the fuck they're doing as a company too. Like they have kind of their vision. They make their products. They're always very solid. They're rarely like derivative. It's always some new twist on stuff. And they have black panels. So it's always like, oh, you guys just seem to like just be killing it.
And even too, like, I mean, they have the big stuff, but also the Pico series.
Yeah,
that's right. The Picos, the Black series, like their kind of noise rig they made that's tube based. They have a very diverse like catalog of stuff.
They announced the Black Hole DSP version 2 also, which I kind of want. Like, I didn't own the version 1, but I do have the Pico DSPs, which is like the junior version of it.
Yeah.
And it's left me wanting more to accompany them, not as a replacement to the Picos. Like, I like them. I like how they're small, but I'd also like one bigger too for when I need to do more complex processing. And it seemed pretty cool. And it has a dial on the front that you can basically downscale the CPU. You know what I mean? Like,
like in the ZDSP.
Exactly.
Yeah,
well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
ZDSP,
cool,
you have to do it with CV, and it's kind of touchy. You know what I mean? It's hard to like.
And you got to get up to 30 kilohertz to get it back up to nominal pace.
Yes.
Which is not a lot. I mean, outside of their own VCO, it's not
many things do that.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
This has a knob right on front.
Yep.
You just tweak it, and all of a sudden you're, bit crushing your entire affected.
And you're not
output.
you're not dedicating an oscillator just to power this thing.
Right.
Another one I saw was the Ssf Mutant. I thought that was kind of a sleeper.
I missed that.
It's kind of announced later. It's kind of simple. It's like an 8-channel VCA in like 14 HP, and it's also a cascading mixer with mute buttons on it. Really like, I think I could get rid of a few modules, put that in, have mute buttons on a mixer, and then be able to patch out and have 8 separate VCAs. I saw that and like
CV control over the VCAs too.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep, that and the Mordax granular sampler. Though I didn't hear it, I thought like just seeing it, I was like, oh, if that's simple, that could be interesting to do with it.
I watched the demos for that. I wasn't blown away. The screen is real nice. It seems real cool to be able to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
But like audio wise, it didn't seem to offer much that you can't already do.
Yeah.
With like clouds in looping mode or like a Time Safari Mark II.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like it's just you can do obviously really tight grains and move throughout it and things like that.
The last thing on my list is Bitbox 2.0 firmware. Like destroys that Mordax module. Well, it looks interesting to me. That new Bitbox 2.0 stuff, like if that module had been released with that firmware, I would still have it for sure. It's ridiculous now. You can do like multiple loop points that you set, run in any direction. Like they fixed pretty much all the issues that I would have had with it.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned in a few episodes by now. Like I was getting kind of leaning more and more towards getting one, and as soon as I watched that, I was like, "Well, I'm sold. Like, I have to get one now."
The way you can have like multiple loops within one sample, and then kind of step through those as a group.
That's
of sounds.
exactly what
like
I've been looking for.
Fucking amazing. That's so smart.
But there was one other granular thing that caught my eye at NAMM, the Qubit Nebula version 2.
I saw the
you
2
see that?
version.
I did see that, yeah.
I don't know what the differences are.
A lot. It's like a mutant cloud / morphogene now that isn't as expensive or hard to use. Like, I took some notes on that one. Did you too, Dave? I saw you looking at your sheet.
I actually have notes on a different qubit.
Oh,
I have notes on the scanned module.
Which also looks awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the Nebula 2, because I owned the version 1 for a minute, and I just didn't get into it too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It wasn't what I was looking for. I ended up getting like 2 clouds instead and did things that way. But you can do sound on sound, destructive overdubbing, 5-minute recording buffer time, and unlike the one it does, the real-time processing, recording and all that. You're not just reading from the card. It's like a full functional sampler with granular options on top of it.
Damn.
Independent pitch and speed.
That's cool.
That is cool. I don't understand how it works though, because like I was looking closely at the module. I did not see like a BPM or like clock in. So I don't understand how it's going to do time stretching without you telling it the parameters of the time.
Maybe just pulls it apart kind of thing, like regardless of the beat.
He did like some audio examples of it too. It sounded great. I was like, that's pretty cool. But like, I don't understand what magic's going on under the hood there, or if it's just doing like an auto detect.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But either way, it's nice.
Is it module 1 you can load like pure data patches into?
Yeah, and you can do it with this as well.
Cool.
He did mention at the end that the firmware is open source and that you can load pure data, C-Sound, and Super Collider patches into it.
Wow.
And
That's
like
awesome.
turn it into your own thing, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I presume even if the firmware out of the factory is like what people want, someone's going to fine tune it to do crazier shit, I'm sure, because it seems like a fully capable machine. You wanted to talk to scanner?
Scanned.
Scanned? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So it is a organic wavetable VCO, and this is going based on their description. It uses scan synthesis to generate complex sounds. So basically, there's vibrating string sort of things, and it's based on like how much this hammer hits it, gives it its different qualities. It kind of sounded a little bit like an Elements.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds kind of like physical modeling to some degree.
The sounds didn't sound like that though. It had like this like very hyper staccato sound that like tapered off.
Yeah, that one has no screen or display too.
No,
either, right?
no.
Which is kind of rare with newer wavetable stuff.
Right.
But I was intrigued by it, but didn't know much about what was going on.
I'm intrigued.
I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but it definitely caught my eye.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about the Nebula. I was like, I've been wanting, granular stuff, but the fact that it's like one sound that you're manipulating, you can't layer. I'm like, at the same time, I could also get a bitbox and probably achieve similar stuff.
Well, I mean, while we're on the topic of wavetable, we did not bring up the 4MS Spherical Wavetable Navigator.
Which is interesting because it's like 8 voice, right?
It's six independent voices.
Whoa.
They have their own global and individual voice per octave. There's also independent LFOs that are either independent or synced. And there's basically like a mixer section at the top that have mutes for each of them on and off. Then there's the LFO section in the middle, and then there's the wavetable sphere selector. And the way they described it was basically think of it as like a sphere of wavetables, and you're controlling the beam that goes through it.
Huh.
It seems like a little abstract, and some of the sounds were a little wonky, but some of the videos, it was just like a one module drone machine. Like really crazy stuff, like really dynamic, really changing. And you can see there's a ton of these modulation points for it. And as they're just feeding it with this modulation and turning mutes on and off, some of the videos were pretty amazing actually. I don't know how necessarily musical it is.
Yeah.
But if you were looking for like a drone oscillator, that seems like it would be a good candidate.
I think they're independent, like volt per octave inputs. So
they're either independent or there's a global volt per octave. And
that's cool.
That was the only complaint that I had was there was a lot of global versus local, and there was like crazy key combinations.
Yeah, I noticed that because it seemed like there was like some sequencer mode at the top too, and I was like, oh, that's kind of like weird how you got there. I don't know if I'd like.
You gotta like hold this and turn
that.
this, and yeah,
shit like that can get old, but
it's how the STS is too.
Yeah,
to get to a lot of the stuff. Oh wait, we forgot about the Malekko modules. We talked about the Manther. We forgot about the reveal. Yeah, I think all the new ones are well, except for the Manther growl, which is obviously the voice of the Manther in Euro format, are like quad style. You have the quad drum, the quad LFO, the quad envelope, and you also have the random module, which looks pretty cool. I think, Dave, you were kind of hyped on that one because it's kind of Turing machine-ish.
I was fired up for that. Yeah.
Like the quad drum, like I don't know if that's going to be like perhaps the heart of the future Mr. D or something, but it's pretty cool. From what I know, it's purely analog. You get a lot of control over 4 different kick drums, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't think it's being labeled just like kick drums. You can get other sounds with it, but for the most part, it seems like it's going to be brutal for just crazy-ass kicks.
Was there videos of this stuff where they actually went through each of the modules?
Not like...
I remember there was not like a jam, but like...
Yeah,
he was basically
they just kind of demoed them, mentioned that they were prototypes. Yeah. I never saw like an in-depth one. That's why I'm wondering, like... Because I think they're all still very much prototypes, so I guess they don't want to talk about it too much because it all might be changed in the near future. But
yeah, it's cool that they're using the Variegate 4 format for some more stuff. I think it lends itself well. They have that quad envelope.
Yeah, and all the sliders. It looks nice.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I like seeing the prototypes in black. I wish I could get the retails in black. I was like, that looks pretty sweet.
Sense a theme here, listeners?
So, Dave.
Yes.
You have a game for us.
I do have a game. Now, full disclosure, this is Greg's idea. I was just watching videos at work. I hate myself in like a really powerful way. So one of the ways that I emphasize that is I will often read YouTube comments.
Yeah.
And I just go,
form of punishment.
It is.
It's like a masochistic act.
Digital flagellation.
Yes, it is exactly that. For some reason, I thought the ones based on NAMM would be bland or just like, oh, that sounds awesome. No, it turns out they're crazy. So Greg came up with this idea for this game. So I'm going to read you a comment and give you 4 choices.
4.
And you guys are going to guess what video you think it was for.
I'm into it.
So the first one, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? This thing is the fucking future. Unfortunately, I can't afford that future. Hopefully in 10 years I can pick one up used on eBay for $100. Was this from a video for A, the Waldorf Quantum, B, the Behringer Neutron, C, the Korg Prologue, or D, the Judo Newman synthesizer?
Oh, God. I hope no one really wants to buy the Judo. I'm going to go with A, the Quantum, just because that thing is insanely expensive.
I'm going B.
The Neutron?
The Neutron, the Behringer shit.
The correct answer is A, the Waldorf Quantum.
Okay.
Right now the sticker price is $4,300.
Yeah.
That's the last one I saw.
That'll never drop to $100 on eBay, but
yeah,
I
that's
hope that dude
what
can
made
keep
me
dreaming.
think of the Behringer one.
You guys ready for the next one?
Oh, yeah.
I really like it. By the way, I have brain damage. Was this from a video for A, the Geiger Counter Pro, B, Deckard's Dream, C, the Struckle Orsel Tube Distortion Module, or D, the Malekko Manther?
Oh, shit. This is a hard one.
C.
Which one was C?
The Struckle Distortion.
You're going with distortion?
Yeah.
This is tough. I'm going to go with A, the Geiger Counter Pro.
The correct answer was D, the Malekko Manther.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this was not someone who was not a fan.
You clearly have to have brain damage to appreciate a mono synth, I guess. Okay. All right.
All right, next question. Vinegar tits. That's it. That's the alpha and omega of this comment.
Correct answer.
Was this from a video for A, the Empress Effects Zoya pedal, B, the Strymon Magneto Delay Module, C, the STG Envelope Generator, or D, Pittsburgh Microvolt 3900?
I'm going to go with the fucking Pittsburgh.
Yeah. D.
You are both correct. It is for the Microvolt. I have no idea if that's good or bad.
Vinegar tits. You know.
For some reason, it just seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Because we were wondering, who would this appeal to? Obviously, people that like vinegar tits.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. We found the demographic.
All right, next question. Powwow. Wow, wow, wow. Poo. Was this from a video for A, the Teenage Engineering Pocket Operator 33, B, the Pittsburgh Microvolt 3900, C, the Strymon Magneto Delay, or D, the Korg Volca Mixer?
C.
What's C?
The Strymon Magneto Delay.
I'll go with that Volca Mixer.
The correct answer is C, the Strymon Magneto Delay. And it was not a cuckoo video. This is a perfect circuit video.
Pow wow 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 poo.
There's four O's of poo.
For some reason, that sound just in my head was like, I can see that someone verbally expressing what a delay is doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't know why, but okay.
You crawled inside the mind of this YouTube comment.
Joke's on you. I was actually the one making all these comments.
All right, next question. Can we get this, but with only the Bossa Nova setting? Was this a video for A, the Korg KR55 Pro Rhythm Machine, B, the Casio CTX700 portable keyboard, C, the Yamaha Montage OS 2.0 update, or D, the Korg Prologue?
Shit. This is a hard one.
I'm going A.
You're going A? That's kind of what I was leaning towards, too. I'm going to go with Nick. A.
You guys are both correct.
Yeah.
It was the Korg KR55 Pro Rhythm Machine.
Hell yeah. Which we forgot to shit all over during our bad section.
Are there that many people that just need like a backing beat like that? Like, is that a real thing? It could be.
I don't know.
Is there not a million things that could already handle that?
The teaser video with like the guy has one of those in one hand and a good acoustic guitar in the other, and he's like setting up in a coffee shop that looks like the one from Friends.
Yes.
For real, we have like fucking supercomputers in our pockets. You wouldn't just play like a loop you bought or some shit?
I mean, that's why drum machines exist in the first place. Like, that's why all them fucking rhythm machines came out and shit, was to do that. It's hard. It just kind of blows my mind that in 2018 we needed a new one to do that. But who knows?
Yeah. Next question. That's what the future looked like in 1998. Was this from a video for A, the Bitwig Studio 2.3 update, B, the Alesis Vortex wireless keyboard controller,
Yes.
C, the Judo Newman synthesizer concept, or D, the Roland Cloud TR-808 and TR-909 drum machine VST plugins?
What?
Yeah, they released those.
I missed that. I'm going to go with B, the Keytar by Alesis.
The correct answer is C.
Damn.
The Judo Newman synthesizer concept.
What?
We've already spent plenty of time shitting on that. Going.
I can see that being the future in 1998.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I kind of feel like we wanted that future.
At some point in time, yeah.
And we realized it kind of sucked.
All right, so this is the last one. Pretty dumb. That's it. Was this from a video for A, the Korg Volca Mix, B, the Waldorf STVC string synthesizer and vocoder, C, the Judo Newman synthesizer concept, or D, the Playtime Engineering Blipbox children's synthesizer?
I'm going to say the children's synthesizer.
Yeah.
There's got to be some asshat out there who's going to shit talk a children's synthesizer.
Yep.
No, the correct answer is B, the Waldorf STVC string synthesizer and vocoder.
Okay.
I don't think anyone was shit talking the Blipbox children's synthesizer. The videos for that, actually, everyone seemed to be just fired up for either getting it for their kid or pretending
they're getting it for the kid.
Yeah, here you go. Play with the kid. Yeah, give me that fucking thing back.
I wasn't keeping score. I'm sure you both did well.
We all win.
Yeah.
We're all winners.
Yeah.
And for our listeners at home, you can get the play-at-home version on DVD and VHS next month.
And the Criterion Laserdisc shortly after.